Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Nicole with a Bushel and Peck Designs. Today I am so excited to be sharing all of these prints with you. I personally designed every single print in this collection that I collabed with 311 Co. I am so excited and so proud of these prints. I absolutely love the way they all came out. I will leave a link down in the description box where you can go purchase any of these prints. There is all the vinyl prints. Some are clear, some are opaque, and then also this star sheet in UV DTF, and both of these decals are also UV DTF. Don't forget, I have a code with 311 Co, or I believe they are still running their 4th of July sale when you see this video. So we are going to start with a 40-ounce blue tumbler. I picked this up at Dollar Tree in part of their like 5 and below, or what is it, like their extra more expensive items. I don't remember what it's called, but I wanted to see how this tumbler held up. I realized once I got it home that the handle cannot come off, which is fine. I've been using my hand or leaving the handles on lately. So I also though did realize that the inside is plastic too. It says that it is a double walled tumbler, but I don't know if it's stainless at any point in the tumbler or if it's just plastic. I'm not sure. So we're just rolling with it to see what happens here. So I'm going to use this floral sheet from the collection, and I'm going to put a little stripe right here in between the handles. So I just trimmed that. I measured it and then trimmed it off with my paper trimmer, and then we are going to apply that strip using the hinge method. And then it was not long enough, so I just left that. I will come back to that. And then I realized fairly quickly here when I was trying to apply the stripe on the bottom portion that the bottom portion is tapered, so it was not lining up straight. I was getting so frustrated with this, but instead of getting frustrated and giving up, I set it aside for a second. I'm going to just cut a little section out of the remaining portion that I had in part of the red floral, so I can just kind of piece it together and make it blend into that little section that's missing right under the handle. And because it's under the handle, it's not quite as noticeable, and you're pretty much gonna cover some of it up, so you're not really gonna see or really notice it. So then I decided I'm just going to go for it, and we're going to apply this stripe on the bottom. I'm just kind of lining it up where the bottom of the little lip lands, and I get to a point where it really starts to curve up way too much, and I'm going to trim it straight as I can with the X-Acto knife, and then we're going to reposition the strip same like right where it came off, but tilt it a little bit or kind of curve it. So you can see here, you really cannot tell. And then I'm just going to continue wrapping it, so it just kind of helps curve it back down in the other direction. When it reached the point that it overlapped, I just cut kind of a squiggly line around that leaf to kind of help blend it in a little bit better on that seam. And then I am going to kind of run my knife right along that bottom edge of that little lip so we can kind of trim off that overhang of vinyl. You are going to be, I am going to be covering it all up with glitter and paint anyways, but I wanted to kind of help just make it a little bit straighter. I'm also going to do the same thing on the bottom because it is quite like crooked here, as you can see. So I'm just kind of making the vinyl look a little bit straighter. I'm going to tape off the handle for this next portion of the painting. I was being very lazy this day and I did not tape off any of the vinyl, so I am trying to be very careful. I am just using some acrylic paint and I am going across the top with red, and then the center portion we are going to paint with some white chalk paint. I honestly regret that I did not tape off this portion. At least the top I was not so worried about, but the middle section, you can see I didn't get all the way to the vinyl, and you can see some of that blue, and I was thinking that my glitter would cover it up a little bit better, or you wouldn't be able to quite see that blue, but in the end you could. So but I'm going to show you how I fixed that. So I gave it 2 coats of paint, and the bottom section was blue already, so I didn't worry about that. And then I gave it a very thin coat of epoxy, and then we're going in with Cardinal from Sandy's Organized Chaos glitter. I love this red. It's such a pretty, true, bright red, and I'm trying to not cover up too much of this vinyl, so I was trying to be very careful, but I just wanted it to have enough coverage right up to that vinyl line. So I'm just going very carefully, very gently, like aiming it right at that line towards the top of the tumbler so that it doesn't fall too much into that vinyl. So once I have that all lined up, I am going to take a little bit in my hands and just kind of sprinkle it down so it gives a very soft waterfall effect. And then I'm going to clean off that top rim because it is a very chunky glitter and it is just going everywhere here. Then I am taking the dark blue glitter from my Dump Glitter collection, available on my website, and I'm going to do the same thing on the very bottom. I am just going like right up to that vinyl line and just giving a very light waterfall up into that vinyl, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the white section. For the white section, I'm going to start with Fabulous, also from Sandy's Organized Chaos, and then I changed my mind and I'm going to go in with Pure White from my Dump Glitter collection as well, and I'm just going to give it a really soft, like really light sprinkling right there in that section. I'm trying not to go any waterfall effects just yet, and then right in that center as well, I'm going to go in then with that Fabulous. I'm just trying to save all of that waterfall effect for very last because I am so heavy-handed. I did not want to cover up that vinyl, and I wanted to also make sure though that I was covering up that blue line because at this point I was irritated at myself for leaving it because it is highly visible. And then I'm also going to go in with this glitter from Sandy's Organized Chaos. It is called, let me check. I can't remember what it's called, so I will just leave that down in the description box. And then after I applied that, it's more of like an iridescent-y, silvery look. I'm going back in with the Pure White from my Dump collection, and I'm going over a little bit heavier, concentrating right on those ends. And then I decided to go in with some light blue, again to try help cover up that blue that I left from the cup. And I'm going to really just focus that on the edge of the, or basically the top and the white of that glitter, and then right where that line is. I'm not really giving it any waterfall look or any ombre. I'm just going over right over those edges with the light blue. At this point, I was pretty happy with that glitter. I knew I was going to do one more step to help cover up that blue section, so I wasn't too worried at this point. So I am going to remove that painter's tape that is protecting the handle, and then I'm going to spray it really, really well with Rust-Oleum's clear glossy spray paint, and then it got 2 coats of epoxy until it was pretty smooth, and then I gave it a really good sanding, and then I am taking, at first I was going to go in with some vinyl leopard spots, but I decided I wanted to do something a little bit differently. So I dug through all of my nail tape. I have a huge collection, and I found some light blue, some red, and some metallic blues, and I am just going to wind those all the way around in their little coordinating areas and just add that more. It does blend in, except for this white section. It stands out a little bit more, but in the coordinating sections, I just wanted it to more be a design element than a standout piece, just kind of like an accent piece. So I just did that for all 3 of the pieces, and then I was really debating on adding some kind of SVG or some kind of stain or something, but in the end I decided not to because I really, really love these watercolor florals, and I just thought it would cover up way too much. I already covered up a lot of it or didn't use so much of it, so I did not want to cover up more of it. So I decided, which is rare for me, but I decided to just leave it without anything else and just leave it as is. I do absolutely love the way it came out, so I was happy to just leave it and let all of the vinyl and the glitters shine for themselves. And then after that, I gave it 2 more final coats of epoxy, and this beauty was all done. I never did find out if there was any stainless inside of this tumbler or if it is all just plastic. Maybe I will do the ice test on it and see how long the ice lasts. I'm not sure, but I am curious if it is going to hold up as good as my normal tumblers. I always purchase from the tumbler supply store, and also I get tumblers from AB Designs Co. Both are amazing places to purchase tumblers. One trick that I did learn but did not use on this tumbler, I believe I've seen it from Stacy over at Lily Beans Crafts, is when you use nail tape or very fine vinyl strips, you can use clear nail polish to seal in the ends so they don't lift when you epoxy them. I did not do that. I need to get myself some clear nail polish for that exact reason. But after that, it got its 2 coats of epoxy and it was all done. And as usual, I hope that I have inspired you in one way or another, and I will leave all of the information where to find me and all the products that I used down in the description box. And I will be back again tomorrow for another installment in our 4th of July series featuring all of the vinyls from my collection and collab with 311 Co. So don't forget to go check out those prints, and I will see you all tomorrow, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful 4th of July.